We have already destroyed our record for most views in one Live the Bike broadcast, and we are only less than an hour into this thing.
I mean, you put together this lineup right here. You have, I mean, Jungle Man's one of the biggest names in poker right now. Garrett's been putting on a show. These big pots, obviously Doug's in the mix. Matt's in the mix here. Ryan's in the mix here. So it turns out, Feldman, when you put together a lineup of players that everybody knows, people tend to show up. People tend to show up here. So Matt sizes up here with the bigger pre-flop raise.
Yeah, this is pretty standard from Berkey. He uses large pre-flop open size.
This is a double straddle, by the way. This is
Okay,
Ryan Fee
okay.
likes to exercise the double straddle option when possible, and so that's what he did here. And so it's a 5x raise from Berkey.
Yeah, I mean 5x is going to be his standard in a straddle or non-straddle pot, no matter what. So I'm not surprised to see a 5x here. And Doug's going to defend the button here with 9-8 of spades.
I think it's pretty standard here. They're super deep.
Yeah, for sure.
And ace-7-7. Doug with the backdoor straight draw flush draw. Berkey with one of the best flops he's going to get here.
For sure. Pot's 2,500 and Berkey's going to choose to bet here.
1,500.
And it's interesting because, you know, Berkey talked a lot when he was in the booth of how he's not a fan of the down bet, but most of these players at this table in this spot, not 3-betting, but raising, and then being the aggressor, and then this board texture are going to down bet a lot, right? But Berkey goes for the over half pot bet.
Yeah, I mean,
Doug.
And look at this. It actually, maybe because of that sizing, it gets Doug to spaz a little bit and raise, which you probably shouldn't have that many raises on this flop.
yeah, I think he's going to, you know, Doug's very calculated in his decisions and blockers and the hands he chooses to bluff. So him choosing 9-8 of spades here with the backdoor flush draw and like blocking some of the sevens is pretty natural, I think, for him.
But Berkey knows that, you know, he's basically saying I have a 7, and that's all he's losing to here.
Right, of course. Turn does make Doug a pair, so
Will he check back here?
I'm curious to see if he's going to choose to check back. When Berkey does call the flop, though, 9 shouldn't necessarily have too much showdown value.
But as played, wouldn't Berkey call that flop with a hand like queens anyway? Just because it doesn't make sense to raise that flop?
Correct, that's what I'm saying. The 9 doesn't necessarily have too much showdown value.
14,000.
Yeah, exactly.
But it'll get like progressive.
Doug with the overbet, 14,200.
I mean, at this point, he's saying I have 7-8 suited, and that's almost all he's saying, right?
Correct.
He almost has that. Maybe he misread his hand.
So you said Doug's only saying he has 7-8 suited here?
Well, this line, what other hand makes sense here?
Could have 7-6 suited.
A 7 in general?
Yeah, but I'm saying there's not, well, my point is there's not many 7s that you're going to have when you flat and open on the button there.
Right, for sure.
You're going to have 7-8 suited, 7-6 suited.
Going to have 9-7, 7-10.
Right, he's repping exactly
I
the
mean,
7.
is he going to flat that hand very often on the button there? I don't know. 5x raise? I mean, not very
Straddle on 2. He's at the button. They are $100,000 deep as well, so he might be playing a little bit wider range from the button.
often. The most likely hand that he's saying he has is 7-8 suited or 7-6 suited.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Yeah, he
8-7?
definitely has a lot of 7s in his range. He's representing a 7 is what you're trying to say, for sure.
Yes.
So he's going to choose to overbet this turn here. That's a tough decision for Berkey.
Like, Doug's not doing this with ace-king, is my point.
Good point.
So the overbet on the turn, 14 into 11. And
Doesn't look like it's going to work here.
now when Berkey calls here, Doug knows he pretty much has ace-king, ace-queen here, right?
Yeah, I mean, for Berkey to go call here, he has to contain an ace a large amount of the time.
Oh my God.
What a life. When you run good, you run good.
Holy moly, guacamole. Wow.
Welcome to the life of Doug Polk.
I was going to say he had a backdoor full house draw on the flop, but now the sizing, I mean, you know, there is some chance Berkey could have a 7 himself as well. Doug just kind of blocks some of those combos, so Berkey's pre-flop selection is a little bit out of line, but I don't think it adds in that many 7s, so.
And Doug, looks like he's going to bet 30,500.
30,500.
Wow.
Let's see what Berkey says here, if he can talk to Doug at all.
Tough spot for Berk here.
Doug acted fairly quickly in the river.
I really thought you were going to shove. I'm confused.
Berk says he thought Doug was going to shove, but now he doesn't like it as much.
Yeah, I really thought you were going to shove.
Can Berkey get away from this hand? Looks like he's leaning towards making the fold.
Berkey calls here. It's a 100K pot.
Doug with the Tom Dwan impression, mouth open, staring at the board.
The head bob.
I've seen this look from Berk one too many times.
9.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
Berkey
does call.
makes the call. $100,000 pot for Doug Polk.
Wow.
Goes runner, full house to clip Matt Berkey. What a start in this game for Doug Polk.
Wow.
It's actually getting worse.
Yeah,
Wow.
like second you didn't shove, it's like.
What a life. You go nuts, turn your hand into a bluff, and just get there. Runner. You're just so dead on the flop. And go backdoor and make a full house. Wow, $100,000 goes to Doug Polk. Welcome to Doug Polk Week.
It's almost over, right? Just because we're getting crushed there.
Christian not happy.
Nah, I mean, you know, really good pot for Doug there. And, you know, really tough spot for Berk. I mean, it's just one of those spots where, you know, you're at the top of your range, and given the line thus far, you didn't believe he had a 7, so... And Berkey did say, like, when he didn't shove, he thought Doug was leaning towards value.
Yeah.
It was going to work.
Bro, I blocked 8-7 suited. The most important point, obviously.
Big top here. And then when you raise that flop, it becomes 9-9. You're not going to put it on the 9.
9 on the 9, I was like, nice. I picked up a really strong draw. I'm drawing to now an additional 9, and then the 9 came, and I was like, this happens to people?